up, Malcolm D. Lee?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. A little while back when Spike was doing Black Klansman, he told me that y'all were cousins and how proud he was of you. And he
Oh, that's nice.
and he was talking about I asked him if he would ever do a musical, and he said you would probably be doing that before he would. Which
Well, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I could see that. We're developing one at my company now.
see, I knew something was a brewing. I already knew. Um, But having said that, the Best Man franchise is my favorite franchise of all time, mostly because I have so many friends that are in that film. Harold and Regina and Sanaa. It's just and Tay, it's just hilarious. But what I think is genius is that for you to continue the story and the franchise on the small screen in these little like mini movies in different episodes, as opposed to doing a third film. Why did you decide to do it that way, taking it from the big screen to the small screen?
I think the original idea was that we were going to make a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was tough to coordinate all the schedules. It was
Mm-hmm.
tough to get the studio, Universal Pictures, to agree on a budget that I thought was commensurate with a third movie.
Uh-huh.
And that for not for what it had to be, because the first movie was a certain budget, the second movie was a little bit higher, had a little bit more scope, and this one had to be have more scope as well. But we couldn't get that together, and so with the rise of streaming services and with the rise of limited series, and obviously with the way people view content nowadays, it made a lot of sense to do it on a streaming platform, to do a limited series. I had two pictures in my head, really, to close out the series and the franchise. And I said, okay, well, let's just do it as a limited series. That way, the actors could have more scenery to chew. They could get compensated for that. And I thought it would be a good way to close it out for the fans as well.
And none of us are the same person we were 20 years ago, if we've lived long enough to be over 20 years. That
I've
part.
heard that before.
Yeah, I'm quoting your words back to you. So having said that, I do my research. Having said that, how different is the Malcolm D. Lee today than the one that started this franchise 20 years ago?
That's a good question. I mean, I think I'm essentially the same person, grounded. I'm a better filmmaker. I'm more experienced. I've lived more life. I probably have a little bit more patience, but I don't know. I think life with life comes a lot of experience, and I've learned a lot, and I've learned how to tolerate things, and learned how to uh, tell a story faster and quicker, and know that, oh, you know what, I don't need that. That's gonna be fine if I don't have that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I've grown, and I think if we don't grow, then like we're stagnant, right? But I still feel like essentially I'm the same person in terms of what I want, my integrity, and who I set out to be, and what my mission is in making content for people, particularly people of color.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it was always, been to represent us in a way that I thought was authentic.
Of all the characters that you've created in the Best Man franchise, Quentin, Merch, Lance, Harper, which one is the closest to you?
Jordan.
Jordan, really?
Yeah, well, I think I had Jordan's you know ambition, and I've definitely become much more of a merch, and I think there's definitely some Harper as well, in that looking for outside validation sometimes. But I think they all are kind of an amalgam. They've all like got parts of me in them. You know what I mean? Or certainly parts of other people that I've encountered. And I certainly drew from my life experience in all these characters and what they're going through in this series.
I'm glad that you brought that up because when we started the franchise, not the series, but when we started the franchise, they were in their 20s. They were trying to find their way into their adulthood. Some were getting married and all the drama and stress that comes with that. And now with the series, they're all established. They're all, settled into their lives for one way or another. And it's refreshing to see it only because it's not coming from a stereotypical point of view with black people. And I always appreciated that with the black best man franchise. How important was it for you to be able to show us in this light? Because I think it's crucial and I'm so appreciative that you did it.
Yeah, I mean that was the kind of the impetus for making The Best Man. Particularly when it came to men of a certain economic and educational background. College educated black people on the movies and television weren't characters I recognized. They were all very stereotypical and stiff and checked their ethnicity at the door. And I felt like, that wasn't, who I went to school with. That wasn't me, wasn't my friends. And so, yeah, it was important to like show, very layered and complex characters on the screen, both men and women. But it was certainly a movie that I thought like I wanted to show men in particular on how they viewed life and friendship and marriage and relationships and career and things like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I was um concerned about what this franchise was going to look like without Mia, but you pulled it off without a hitch, as I knew you would, because the first two centered so much around that relationship of Mia and Lance. So it was interesting to see how it was going to progress without that relationship in the mix. But having said that, that is my time. I appreciate you. I appreciate this franchise. I appreciate how it represents us in the best way possible in love, in life, in career, and as people. And thank you so much for giving me a slice of your time today. I really do appreciate it, Malcolm.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
Nice talking to you too. Bye now.
Take care.